a Pete Primeau fan.
Thank you for having me.
Your fans are like...
What an honor to be here, Pete. You're a legend. You're a rock star.
I'm a legend in my own mind, said my wife.
If I can do it, anybody can do it.
I'm Mr. Selling from the Heart. What's this guy, Larry Levine, going to teach me about selling from the heart?
You are one of the most generous and authentic people around. And I think that's why you and your show are so attractive to people.
Welcome to the Pete Primeau Show. It is episode 251. Sorry for the delay, folks. You will see that we were wrestling around with some technical issues. I cannot wait to get this show started. But before we do, I'm just going to pay the bills real quick. So if you haven't read my book, Sell a Million, what are you waiting for? 101 tips for furniture and mattress store owners on how to sell another $1 million this year. If you want a sales book, I've got a sales book. It took me 43 years of experience and 10 co-authors to get this across the goal line. This book is 3 years worth of sales meetings. So if you want to help your salespeople sell more, this is the book for you. Jeff Giannakovo, Justin Trumbo, Mark Klingenberg. Happy birthday, Mark. Everybody wish Mark Klingenberg a happy birthday. Chris Tahaney and Brent Batterman, Randy Thompson, Steve Carnes, Mel Opp, Keith Cassinguy, and the great Scott Vaughn all contributed to this book. I'm super proud of how this book came out. So grab it. I think it's like $20. It's just stupid. So jump in there and grab that. And guys, you're in for a real treat today. I can't wait to get started, but I need to thank our sponsors. So thank you, Mattress Industry Network Group, specifically Greg and Steve. If you want to learn how to build, market, sell, and succeed, jump into our group. It's, I believe, 2,700 strong. If you want to learn how to build, market, sell, and succeed in the mattress industry, join this free Facebook group. It's a great group, and you should be in it. And I think that's it, Chris. Donna, welcome.
Hey, Pete, that was an adventure making this happen. You know what I believe? I believe when there is so much junk going on technologically that attempts to keep us from sharing a message, it is the exact message we're supposed to share.
So guys, we're going to talk about making more money in your business, more time, and having more life. And you know, I've got to tell you, I am super excited. I have been begging Donna to come on my show for a long time. She's part of a mastermind that I'm in. And I have to tell you something. One of my marketing kind of mentors is Dan Krech. And Dan Krech years ago said, I cannot wait for you to meet Donna Krech. She is a salesperson. She is a marketing guru. She's a business guru. She has built many businesses, and you guys are just gonna just rock when you meet each other. And you know, you guys actually benefited a few years ago from one of Donna's ideas. Throwing the axes at the Bedding Industries of America open house 2 years ago. That was a product of our mastermind. And Donna saw it very clearly, asked me a few questions. And then before you knew it, we were throwing axes, and we had a blast at that open house. So thank you, Donna, for that idea and many, many others. So guys, this is absolutely live. So if you have questions for Donna, they take precedent over everything else. So if you got a question for Donna on how to make more money in your business, more time, add more life, go for it. Start asking away. We will get your questions up and answered for you. So Donna, tell me about your, you're kind of a big wig in the Dan Kennedy circles. And like, how did that happen? I mean, I've been bouncing around for 10 years, maybe 15, 20. So you've got to be in there a lot longer, because I believe that you were in Titanium with Jeff Janakova, weren't you?
I don't know Jeff's name from Titanium. I was in Titanium for several years, actually. And Pete, I don't even know how long I've been apart. I know that I first heard Dan at a Get Motivated seminar, like many people did, like in 1995 or 96 or something like that. And the truth is, look, I'm really, really guilty of that whole cellophane factor thing, meaning I would buy things and stick them on my bookshelf, and maybe I'd open them and maybe I wouldn't. I am more kinesthetic, like physical presence person. Don't learn so well from the courses, etc. And that's why I love mastermind groups. And really, that's where I shine, where I'm working one-on-one with, or not one-on-one, but in person with people. And that's where I learn the best too. And that's why the whole axe throwing thing that made your event so fun, that's why it happened, because you're up there in the hot seat. You're talking about, what you've got coming up, what you got going on. And I'm like, wait a minute, let's create an experience. Right. And it was an experience. It was fun. And, I would say, when you say, how did that happen? I think my answer is threefold for bigwig. That's a pretty flattering term. Thank you for that. I think, how did it happen? Well, gosh, look, when I started in business, I went to work for a weight loss center in April, got fired from that job. And then in March, it was March. And then in April, I went to work for a fitness center. This was back in, 1982. That was a minute ago. And getting involved in those industries, I would have no idea until later, was pivotal to the massive success that I've been blessed to have. I was pushing a baby stroller, though, with a 10-month-old in it, and sobbing as I was walking down the road. And I'm sobbing because the only money I have left in the world is jingling in my pocket. Operative word is jingling. And I was sobbing because I didn't know how I was going to feed her the next time she was hungry. That's one of the worst feelings in the world, by the way, not knowing how you're going to feed your child. And as I'm walking down this road and I'm sobbing and I'm pushing her, and the last money I have is in my pocket. But I knew in my core there was more. Somehow I knew in my core there was more. I've been raised in a direct selling home. I was far away from my family at the time. I was in Midland, Texas. I'm from Ohio. But I knew in my core there was more, because of probably how I'd been raised and what I'd been exposed to. So fast forward, quote unquote, how did I do it? I was 6 months pregnant with my son when I started owning my first business. That's not the ideal time, by the way, to start owning a business. It's when you're 6 months pregnant. But you know what? I was a manager in a weight loss center, and the owner did not offer maternity benefits. And I'm like, well, I've got to figure out how to make money while I, am off having this baby. So I'll just go ahead and own one of these franchises. It doesn't always work out that way, but my whole motive when I started in business, Pete, was something I call healthy selfish. And I still practice it to today. What's going to be fun in our talk is that I lost it for a moment. And it has been good for me to have lost the healthy selfish motive, because I was darn determined to get it back again. So that healthy selfish motive, with me again being pregnant when I owned my first business, and I have since owned, I don't know. I can't count the locations. I know that we have created 14 multi-million-dollar companies. I know that we've put over $3 billion into the economy. I know that we've helped thousands of businesses in the wellness space and outside the wellness space make more money in less time. And it was all based on healthy, selfish. I was going to have the life I wanted. I call it life by design. I was going to determine the life I wanted, and I was going to make my business fit into that life. Or yeah, the business fit into the life, not life fit into the business, which is how it typically goes, unfortunately. And that's just how I set my intention from the beginning. So that's how I was looking for the things that would help me achieve this goal, how I created the things that helped me achieve this goal. And so again, 3 things I said got me here. One was, I started with literally nothing, and I knew in my core there was more. 2, it was a healthy, selfish motive from the beginning. Got away from that over the last few years, but I'm now back to it and doing better than ever. And then 3 was just knowing that there were always easier ways. There were always easier ways to make more money in less time. Kind of ties back to that healthy, selfish motive, right? Look, the only thing they're not making any more of outside of land is time. Not making any more of that. And every day that passes is a day we're not going to get back. And every dinner that you miss with people you love, and every dance recital or open house, you're not going to get it back. And there's nothing that makes that okay. It eats at your soul, actually, when you miss those things, and keeps you up at night. And I really had not experienced that. I came into business with my motive being healthy, selfish. And what that meant is I wanted the maximum amount of success I could get on my terms, So a business that was not dependent upon me, a business where we weren't selling 1 hour long presentations, because we were for a while. And I was like, yeah, I don't like this. I've got to change this model. So I turned it into a business where in a 1 hour presentation, we could sell 50 somethings. And now I've been able to prove that can be duplicated and copied in any industry. I got to tell you, we had a moment getting ready for this podcast today, and the moment was technological, right? There were some issues. Well, prior to us dealing with the issues, and we dealt with them all as well, I was so excited. So I am almost vibrating right now at getting to share with you what I've been working on. I knew that this worked in my industry, and my husband and I have a retail store. So I have been talking to John a lot about duplicating this in that business. And as I was preparing for the time with you, I started finding myself like vibrating. I was so excited because I was like, oh my God, this is going to work for the mattress guys. This is going to work for the mattress guys. And look, again, I said it before, I'll say it again. I come from nothing. I mean, listen, when I was a little girl, my first bicycle came from Goodwill. It wasn't the Goodwills we know today, brother. This was garage store Goodwill. And I had to share it with my nephew because we didn't even have the money that I could own it myself. Like, I come from nothing. So I have this crazy heart that I'm never going to be able to shake, for people who want to have success, but on their terms. I wanted to have success. I just wasn't willing to give up my life to do it. And I've been able to do that. So, how'd I do it? I knew in my core there was more. Healthy, selfish was my intention. And I wanted to find ways as we grew our businesses to duplicate everything. I'm a system person. I like checklists. If I create it once, I don't want to have to create it again if it worked. And what I've been able to do is teach people systems for creating their own life by design, make more money in less time, so there's more time for the stuff in life that matters to you.
Awesome. So when you started to create these systems, did you know that someday you would own 13 other businesses, or you would help create more than 13 other businesses, and you would help hundreds of other businesses be successful, if not thousands? Did you know that?
Not a chance, but I
You were
knew
just surviving.
I was surviving. I wasn't thriving. But listen, I knew in my core there was more. I knew in my core. And you know what I think, Pete? I think every human being knows that. Now, more might mean more money. More might mean more freedom. More might mean deeper relationships or more free time. Like more can mean a lot of different things. And I think we're all wired to know there's more. So look, let me say something. This is really important to say right now. I've been blessed. I have been blessed. You know, we all have certain gifts and innate abilities. I call them anointings, call them whatever you want to call them. We all have a very specific purpose, something that we're really good at innately. I'm a big acronym girl, by the way. So PURPOSE is your powerful, unique, revelational proof of your spiritual equipping. PURPOSE. Okay, why does that matter? Well, because kind of instinctually, I just know there's a better way to do things, and I either go find it or I create it. That's what's been the quote unquote secret to my success. Did I know that way back? No, but I knew I was pretty good at marketing and selling pretty effortlessly. And I knew I could spot things that worked, and I knew I could create things if I couldn't spot them. So that all sounds amazing, right? I mean, it's incredible life, blessed life, blessed life. And then a little thing called COVID hit. Now, COVID didn't do us in. While we had locations all over the nation, we were helping hundreds of businesses at that time. And businesses were, as we all remember, shut down. It didn't do us in because we just showed those businesses how to pivot. Now, they weren't allowed to be open, so we made it so they could still sell. That's what we did. Well, what did hurt us was the supply chain. And you guys, I am certain, experienced the same thing. We didn't have anything to sell because we couldn't get product. So now what the heck am I going to do? So I'm trying to figure out what to do with the supply chain, and things are spiraling downward. And I mean, spiraling downward fast. We went from doing 5 million a year to doing 1 million a year in like light speed. And it didn't necessarily stop there. So I was losing team members. I mean, look, you know what? I don't know if I've said this on any interview, Pete. I mean, I couldn't pay my people. And when you can't pay your people, they got to feed their babies, right? So they had to go get other jobs. And so the company's spiraling downward. I'm losing my team right and left. And I faced a very simple decision. And that was, I got to shut it down, or I got to figure out how to make it work. Well, this put me in a spot that I literally had really never, ever been in. And that spot was, I was wearing 6 to 10 hats all by myself. I was the marketing department. I was the sales department. I was the one that had to see that everything got fulfilled. It was me. And I mean, I hated it. I don't miss things with my family. I just don't do that. Again, I'm the life by design girl, right? I'm healthy, selfish. I have the life I want. And now I found myself missing things with my family. I am waking up, looking in the mirror, not recognizing the person looking back at me, and certainly not recognizing this life. This is not what I wanted. This is not why I became a business owner. It was not what I was used to. And, you know, I don't know. In the retail sense, Pete, I think it would probably be at the end of a day, and our guy is sitting there at his desk. Maybe he's been there 11 hours, looking at receipts, looking at, and he knows that his kids and his wife are at home having dinner, and he's not there with them because he's here. Yeah. And I think what I'd say is, because of what I was blessed to go through, I didn't feel blessed at the time, brother. I was ticked. I was angry. And you know it. You saw me angry, and you saw me not in a good state at those mastermind meetings, Pete. I was not in a good place. And I wasn't in a good place because this is not what I signed up for as an entrepreneur. And I'll bet your guy feels the same way. Sitting there at that desk at the end of the day, maybe he's seen, I don't know, 6, 8, 10 prospects, and maybe he's sold 2. Like, he's got to be feeling like I was feeling. He's got to be going, is this my life? Is this what I signed up for? I mean, I hadn't experienced anything like that before. So I'm experiencing this, I'm missing things, I know it. And I'm like, look, it can't stay like this. I got to do something different. It's got to change. Now, I had the benefit of knowing it could be different, right? Because I had experienced it already. So I just simply had to say, there's got to be something I can do. I know if I think about doing it, I'm not going to change anything. But if I do something, I can get back to all the freedom I was used to, making the money I was used to, getting the time back that I was losing. And I did one thing, Pete. Now, ultimately, I did two, but it started with one. I was like, all right, if I'm going to make more money easier, so I have more time for the stuff in life that matters to me, it's got to start with leads. It's got to start with leads. So I started doing something with our lead system that can absolutely be duplicated for your guys. I'm going to share how we can do that. That brought me 10 times the leads faster. And actually, no, might be more like 20 or 30 or 40 or 50 times the leads faster. I don't know how many leads, Pete, how many leads do your guys get in a given day, week, month? And where do those leads typically come from?
Most mattress stores get 1 to 3 customers a day, and a really great mattress store would get, say, 10.
So are we talking, when you say customer, are you saying sales?
No, I'm saying a customer walking in. And typically, so years and years ago, Donna, those leads came from newspaper ads, they came from radio ads, they came from TV, newspaper, and radio. But now it's all changed. There are still some bigger retailers that are, using some of that media. But now I would say most businesses, they're using Facebook, they're using Instagram, some of them are using TikTok. But it's
so are
really
you saying they typically get, when you say customer, are you talking prospective customer
walking into the store?
So that's a person who might buy a mattress.
Yep.
And how many of those a day?
1 to 3.
This is going to be so fun. So let's see, that's around 30 or 30 to 40 a month, maybe even 60.
Yeah, 30 to 60 a month.
Okay, that's outstanding. I need everybody to hold their breath right now, because this is going to sound overwhelming, but I promise I'm going to make it easy. Okay. What if we could make that 300 a month? What if we could make that 500 people in a month wanting to buy mattresses? Now, again, I ask you to hold your breath, because you're going, oh my gosh, I couldn't handle 500 a month. Well, we're just going to get 500 a month to raise their hand. The second thing I did, remember I said I did one thing, I only needed to make one shift. I made one shift so I had more people to present to. The second shift I made was that I could sell what we had been selling one-on-one, and it would take an hour to sell them. In 1 hour, I was selling 50. But that was the second shift. Let's start with the first shift. The first shift was getting a lot more leads a lot easier. Very simply, I ran a challenge. Now, the challenge can be run in-house, and you could do like an open house, but I would say to run the challenge virtually. I did some work this morning on this, Pete. That's why I got so excited about talking to you, because I'm like, ooh, we'll call this the Better Sleep Challenge. Why do people buy a mattress? It's not because they want somewhere to sleep. It's because they want a good night's sleep, right? But we may be selling mattresses, or we may be selling the features of the mattress. I don't know that often if we're selling the real benefits, but everybody is struggling with sleep problems. And I'm using the term everybody. It is very rare that somebody goes to sleep at 10 o'clock at night and wakes up at 7 in the morning and they can't even remember rolling over. People get up to go to the bathroom. People wake up when they roll over. That is a form of insomnia. A lot of people get that infamous 3 a.m. wake up call, and then they're awake till 5:30 a.m. Okay, so what we need to do is simply relate to the public that it doesn't have to be that way. I would propose that what we do is a better sleep challenge. Okay, so this is 4 days. And I'm just giving you the parallel of what I did that completely worked and blew us up with success. Obviously, we did it in the wellness space, but I'm just giving it to you in the sleep space so that it isn't confusing to our guys that are listening. Because if I give the wellness space example, somebody will have to parallel. I don't want them to have to do that.
Okay.
So I do this in 4 days. And the first day, I probably give them the 60-second sleep solution. In the 60-second sleep solution, you guys probably know all these things, right? It's just putting the things together that you know. Like, don't be looking at any blue light at least 30 minutes before you go to sleep. It's something that, again, you guys are so good at. You probably think everybody knows it. They don't. So I would put together the 60-second sleep solution for day one. I would put together the sleep zone solution for day two. And those are 4 fast fixes that you can do in the area around your bed that helps you sleep more soundly through the night. The third thing I do is the how to wake up refreshed secret, things you can do in the morning. And then the fourth thing I do is measuring your sleep score. Now, here's the kicker. Here's the key. Every single one of the days of this challenge is going to lead to the realization in the prospect's mind, they need a new mattress, and you are the perfect person to provide it. So I would do them virtually these days. I want you to think about something. This is going to be like, I know it's a rhetorical question. If people could be given the opportunity to sleep more soundly, they could learn it for free, and they could learn it from an expert in their community. How many community members do you suppose would want to have that knowledge? Right? So I would propose that what we market is this Better Sleep Challenge. I would propose that it can be done online. It, again, could be done in-house, but I got to tell you, I don't know how big these stores are. I don't know if they'd be able to handle 300 people in their store at one time. But I know that the 300 people will come, and quite honestly, it may be 500, 700, because when you put out a free Better Sleep Challenge, especially, are you kidding me, going into the first of the year, people want their health to improve. People want their life to improve. So we put out this 4-day Better Sleep Challenge. Every single day has got something that everybody's going to want to learn. So they're going to come back. The information in the challenge, Pete, won't be more than, I'd say, 15 minutes, maybe 20 tops, because people are busy. And the end of each day is going to result in, oh my gosh, I think this is coming back to my mattress. Now we're going to give them real knowledge. Like I said, the 60-second sleep solution are things that you can do in a minute or less to help you sleep better at night. The 4 fast fixes for your sleep zone are things that you can do really quickly to help you sleep better through the night. The wake up refreshed is what to do when you wake up in the morning. But see, like wake up refreshed, let me use that one for example. They're going to realize they're stiff. Why are they stiff? Because they need a better mattress, right? So they're all going to come back to wanting to become your prospect. The 4th day, big time, will result in specific appointments made to come meet with you. I think the only problem we're going to face with this, Pete, is how many sales do you want to make in a given month? Because this is going to bring so many interested parties. Quite frankly, I will bet you it's going to be more interested parties than have been interested ever. When I found the concept of challenges and I started applying it in my business and then taught it to the people I get to teach, it was to say it was a game changer is an understatement. I mean, I only put it out the first time I did a challenge, Pete. I only put it out to people who had thought about buying from me but hadn't yet. I only put it out to people who had thought about buying from me and hadn't yet. And I had 360 people in the challenge. 360 people. Mm-hmm. This year, I'm going to put it out to people who haven't bought from me yet. And I expect 1,000 people. I mean, again, I got so excited when I started doing this work this morning, getting prepped to talk to you. I was like, oh my gosh, this is going to be so easy. These guys can all have more prospects than they've ever had in the history of their store ever. And that was the pivotal thing that got my life back. That took me from, again, missing things with my family, which I was PO'd about, brother. I was mad because I don't like missing stuff with my family. And looking in the mirror, not going, this is not my life. How'd I get here? And I just finally said, I'm not going to let it stay like this. I'm not going to live like this. I'm not giving up my life. I'm not giving up my time for the stuff that matters. I'm not doing it. So I had to figure out one thing I could do that would be simple. I'm all about simple. And I had to figure out one thing I could do that would change everything. And when I got my head around the whole challenge concept, it changed everything. We would have 1, 2, maybe 3 prospects at a time coming in any given week. And now I have anywhere from 50. The most recent one we had, I want to tell you 215. We had 107 sales as a result of that 215. I already told you about the 361, and this will work in any industry. I mean, I had so much fun putting these thoughts together, Pete, because I was like, oh my God, I could totally create a better sleep challenge for these guys. And it's going to get all kinds of hands in the air. And the neat part about a challenge is that you really are genuinely helping people. And at the end of each day of the challenge, they're realizing they need what you have. So you are qualifying them all the way through and making them aware all of the way through that they need what you have.
Yeah, and you're elevating your sleep. You're elevating your selling position, right? You're selling from authority, and you are creating celebrity, not celebrity as in Hollywood movie celebrity, but celebrity within your niche, within your community. By giving all this information each day, your positioning changes from just that guy or that gal that owns that mattress store to this person really knows a lot about sleep. This person really knows a lot about this industry. We probably do need to do something, and this person seems to be an expert. And I think that's what everybody really wants. And one of the interesting things about our industry, we would love for everybody to replace their mattress every 8 to 10 years. The reality is they don't. We are still picking up 20-year-old mattresses, 15-year-old mattresses. If you were to put a gun to my head and say, tell me how long the average person keeps a mattress, I would tell you 15 to 20 years.
Wow.
We'd love it to be 8 to 10 years. We have publicity campaigns with the Better Sleep Council that says replace your mattress every 8 to 10 years. But the reality is most people still hang on to their mattresses for 15 to 20 years.
So I will tell you that the second challenge I ran, first challenge was for people who hadn't bought from us. Second challenge I ran was people who had previously bought from us. And we ended up with 65 sales from that. So here's the deal. And I know this is, again, rhetorical. In your community, or in the community of our guys that own the stores or lead the stores, do the people think of the mattress store as the place that sells mattresses, or do they think of the mattress store as the place where the guy who knows all about helping them get great sleep works? It's a mattress store, right? The community thinks of it as a mattress store. See, this is where the whole game changes. I mean, look, I'm in weight loss. I'm in wellness. I'm in hormone balance. Do you know what a bloody ocean that is? I had to become unique. I had to say, look, I can give you information nobody else can give you. One of my challenges was called 4 days to a flatter tummy. Hello, who doesn't want a flatter tummy in 4 days, right? It just positioned me as I know what I'm talking about and you want what I have. Well, again, I'm going to repeat myself. People are sleeping lousy. Our sleep is lousy. If you come in and say, and I got to tell you, my brain is racing right now. Like, oh my gosh, we could do partnerships. And now other people are promoting the sleep challenge. especially again going into the first of the year, like this can be set up to where there's thousands of prospects joining you on this sleep challenge. Again, I laid it out like I've got the content. This is going to be easy, and we can market it to the people who once bought from us if that's where we want to start, because quite honestly, that's the lowest hanging fruit. They already know, like, and trust us, right? So I'm looking at this going, and this is why I was so excited, I'm sure. And I love laying out this kind of marketing stuff. I love it. I love it. But I'm sure this is why I was so excited to come here with you today, Pete, because as I processed through my story, I was like, man, you couldn't have told me that going through that hell was a gift. It didn't feel like a gift. I was angry and I was a victim and I was resentful and I was all kinds of ugly things. Now that I realize what I learned on the other side, I realize what a gift it was. Your guys and me were the same. It's very possible your guys are waking up, looking in the mirror, having the same exact thoughts I had. This is not the life I signed up for. And like I said, maybe it's at the end of an 11-hour day and they're sitting at the desk with receipts all over the desk. But they're realizing they're missing stuff and they're not making the money they want to be making. And that's where I was. I was like, again, whew, this is almost emotional for me, friend. I came to those mastermind meetings a wreck.
I just drew something. You see that?
Yeah.
So a lot of times it's the three-legged stool. I did it as a pyramid, exercise on top, nutrition on next, and then rest. And the largest part of rest is sleep. Cross promotions between exercise places, nutrition places, and sleep shops.
Yeah. There's absolute possibility there. I mean, that's exciting. I will tell you though, I don't want to take anything away from my industry, but I'm going to make a really blunt statement right now. Your guys don't need that. Your guys, this information is so easy to transmit to someone that your guys can be the sleep experts. Now, going to the exercise places and nutrition places, the health food stores, absolutely, because they can promote your better sleep challenge. And those folks could come and speak, but I would tell you, if we're going to do that, shoot, let's have an open house and let's invite the health store owner and the health food store owner and the personal trainer, and let's invite them in and have an event for our customers that we get paid for. Let's make that one a moneymaker, right? So now let's start creating multiple streams of income. What I'm talking about right now is the getting away from sitting at that desk at the end of the 11-hour shift and making more money by having more leads. I mean, if we've got, I don't know, a sale a day happening now, well, what if we could have 10 sales a day? Because that's doable. Now, not to worry about having one-on-one presentations, because the second part of this is I figured out how to have one-on-many presentations, even with something like a mattress. Even with something like a mattress, it can be done. It can be done in any industry. I've already proven that. But the first step, the first shift is saying, at least this was for me, I'm not doing this anymore. I get one life. I'm not going to trade hours for dollars. I'm not doing it. I've got to figure out a way to make more money easier so I can have more time for the stuff in life that matters to me. And I made one shift. I decided to start putting challenges in place that would get me at least 10 times the leads faster so I could get my life back. And you know what, Pete? You've now seen me in the last year. I'm back, brother. I don't miss anything. I don't miss anything with my family. I don't miss travel with my husband. I'm there. I don't miss dinners with my kids and grandkids. I'm there. I don't miss going to the gym and taking care of myself. I'm there. I don't miss mastermind meetings with my cool friends like you. I'm there. I don't miss it. And I was missing everything. Now let's go back to, I didn't miss anything before. And then I went through this time where I got to go through what a lot of business owners go through that I hadn't been through. And it was horrible. And then I was like, I'm done. I will figure out this answer. And if I hadn't gone through that, I wouldn't have figured out the answer.
Your first shift is challenges. What's the second shift?
The second shift is selling one on many. So that's where you figure out how to take something that was a 30 to 60-minute presentation where you sell maybe one mattress, and you turn that into selling 10 mattresses or 20 mattresses. And yes, it is doable. It is very possible that the folks listening to us today are going to go, that's not doable. It is doable. But the first shift is going to be having the challenge, because what an amazing, amazing, wonderful problem to have too many leads, to have more leads than you know what to do with.
High class problem, right?
That's what I wanted. I wanted more leads so that we could breathe. Because again, you're not going to get your life back if you can't breathe. If you're not making the money you want to make, if you're not having the time off that you need to rejuvenate yourself and be with your family, you can't breathe. So bringing in a ton of leads allows you to be able to breathe.
Chris Tahaney asks or says, he asks, then he says, anyone that goes to a gym or goes to a nutritionist firm is fully aware that they will encounter trained professionals that will help them reach their fitness and diet goals, respectively. What about the mattress industry? Why is this opportunity not capitalized on? Yep, 100%, Chris.
Bingo, bingo, ding, 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 ding. I agree.
Yeah, couldn't agree anymore.
Yeah,
Thank you, Chris.
Yeah, that was awesome, Chris.
Yeah, that we all need to make that shift from slinging mattresses to selling the outcomes, and the outcome is a better life.
Yeah. Listen, you
The
said
outcome's
it.
a better life. When you wake up happy and pain-free, and you feel better, you have more energy, you're a better husband, you're a better wife, you're a better father, a better mother, better student, better policeman, better fireman, whatever you do for a living, you're better. If you're a salesman, you're a better salesman. Donna, I'm dying to ask you a question. You have coached an awful lot of businesses, and when you see a business that's stuck, and they're kind of almost paralyzed, Donna. They're kind of at a place where they're like, oh, that's okay for the other people to try that new thing, but I'm not going to try it because of this reason, that reason, and the other reason. And you see that they're stuck in their own crap. Okay. How do you get them unstuck, Donna?
Look, this is simple. First, have you acknowledged the wake-up call? The wake-up call is when you're sitting at the desk at the end of the 11-hour shift, or when you're looking in the mirror like I was. The wake-up call is, this is not the life I signed up for. That's the first step in getting unstuck. The second step in getting unstuck is acknowledging an internal urgency, meaning if I keep doing what I've been doing, I'm going to get what I've been getting, right? Definition of insanity. Something's got to change. It's realizing something's got to change. And then the last is the curiosity to go find the thing, which is what I did. Now, I will tell you, Pete, that I am going to do strategy calls free, not selling them. And if your guys are interested in learning how to do the challenges, it is Life by Design Business Blueprint. It's a long name. Life by Design Business Blueprint. You just simply go put your info in there. We'll set up a strategy call. And I would say that's step number 3. Now, it doesn't have to be with me. Listen, it could be with anybody. Okay. But I looked in the mirror. I didn't like the life I saw looking back at me. I knew something had to change. You get unstuck by saying something's got to change. If you don't say something's got to change, you stay stuck. It's that simple. And the reality is we're not really stuck. We're just sitting there going, well, yeah, something's got to change, but I'm just going to get up tomorrow morning and look in the mirror and see that same Donna looking back at me who doesn't like her life. It's got to make a decision. I'm willing to consider something different. And again, this is my healthy selfish again. It came back loud. I was like, well, I'm not going to come up with something that gets me 1 or 2 sales anymore. I'm going to come up with something that gets me many sales so that I can breathe, so that I can build my life again, and I can grow my companies again and love on the people that I love, and not just my family, although of course my family, but my team members and the people I get to be in mastermind groups with. I want everybody to live their absolute best life. So I decided, okay, I'll start teaching people how to do what I did. And I'm not just going to teach the concept. We had a great time today going over the concept and a bit of the strategy, but I love what Chris said. Why are we not positioning ourselves like this? And what you said when we first started talking, this is expertise, it's celebrity, it's authority, and it's not hard. So as I was preparing for our time together today, I was like, well, let me just play with this. I was like, oh my gosh, I got 4 days already completely laid out. I know exactly what to tell these guys to say. I know exactly what to tell them to cause the person to want to be an appointment. It's easy. It's my gift, right? It's one of my superpowers. And I know it's not everybody's, but when we join forces and we lock arms and we say, okay, let's take my gift or somebody else that can do this again, maybe it's not me, right? And put them together with your guys' gifts, which is selling, right? It's unstoppable. It's immeasurable what could be done. The advantage of I guess booking the call with me is that I already did the work. So, I've got the information to share, but I'm not the only one. Just let's get out of our own way. Let's stop. How did you just say it? Slinging mattresses. Let's stop slinging mattresses. Let's become the better sleep expert in our town, because that's what you deserve to be. And that's how people will see you differently. That's what will cause people to see you differently. Because like I said, I asked the question, I knew it was rhetorical, and you answered it the way I thought you would answer it. In our community, do people see the mattress store as the mattress store? Or do they see the mattress store as the place where the guy who knows how to help them get better sleep works? We want it to be the second choice. But right now, it's the first choice. Well, that can be changed with a very simple better sleep challenge. It can be changed, and it can stay changed. Because what I would then do is not just teach our guy how to do the better sleep challenge, I'd teach him how to position himself or herself so that now they're the sleep expert. And now the sleep apnea clinic is sending their people over to the mattress store to get a new mattress. And the health food store is sending their customers to get a new mattress. And the gym and the personal trainers are sending their clients to get a new mattress. Why? Not because you sell great mattresses. Of course you sell great mattresses. They're sending them because you're the sleep expert. And you proved it by having the 4-day challenge. I love this stuff, man. I am so vibrating. I'm so excited right now. I love this. I love this stuff. Because I love helping people live their best life. I don't think God allowed me to have the success I've had so that I can go take amazing vacations with my husband and have multiple homes. And we do. But I don't think that's why it happened. I think it's happened so that I can help other people live their best life. Because we all want the same things I want. We want more money and more time for the stuff in life that matters to us. And we don't want money for the sake of having money. We want money for the sake of memories and wealth building. And I don't know, just life's too short. It's too short to sit at that desk at the end of the 11-hour shift wondering how tomorrow's going to be different. It's too short.
When Chris Stone, our producer, pulled up your website, I caught a glimpse of your mission statement. And it involved a 3-letter word that I love, God. And it's a 3-letter word that we don't use in business enough, because when we glorify God through our work, it takes on bigger. My purpose is to honor God by taking personal responsibility for being fully alive so that every life we encounter can become all it was created to be. I mean, I could barely read that without crying. I mean, it is so good. And when that's your guiding star, that's your northern light. I mean, good things happen, right? And
yeah, they do.
And I would encourage anybody that, owns a sleep shop or owns a furniture store and you're watching this, don't be bashful about who you are and how you want to serve. And, Donna, could we just talk about attraction marketing for a little bit. You know, some people are afraid they're going to push some people away, and you might, but you're going to pull more powerfully your tribe to you so powerfully that it's going to offset any that you might have lost that's not your tribe.
Well, Pete, look, I mean, I didn't do this research. I should have checked on this number. What percent of the population do you suppose reports not sleeping all the way through the night soundly? Look,
It's astronomical.
It's got to be 80 to 90%. It's got to be 80 to 90%. Okay.
You know, my wife has a smartwatch, and she tells me what her sleep score is every night. And she's happy when it's higher, and she's puzzled when it's not. And I'm like, I don't have one of these things, but I know a lot of people do. So you're all getting sleep scores, and you all know that you're not sleeping as good as you should be.
Well, and let's think of that store owner or store leader, manager. Let's think of that guy who is maybe looking in the mirror like I did. He's definitely not sleeping soundly, but he's not sleeping soundly because of stress. Okay. So if 80 to 90% of the population, I'm guessing, but I bet I'm not far off, doesn't sleep through the night soundly, then when you said people might push back on you, I don't think very many people are going to push back on a better sleep challenge. And I think if we tell them, look, we're going to show you 60-second solutions to getting more sound sleep. We're going to show you 4 fast fixes to getting more sound sleep. And we're going to show you how to wake up completely refreshed. We're going to show you how to determine what your subjective, easy to figure out sleep score is and how to improve it. When we tell people those few things, there's not going to be somebody that pushes back, because we're going to give them these legit, real solutions. And again, each one of these days is going to result in them automatically thinking internally, gosh, I need to consider a new mattress, because we're going to build that in. We're going to build that in. We're going to give the information, and we're going to build in the desire, the awareness and the desire. I think I need to consider a new mattress.
That's awesome. Now I see why you built so many businesses and have coached so many people with their businesses. Donna, is there a question that I should have asked you today that I didn't?
Gosh, that's really a super question. A question you should have asked me that you didn't. I don't know. Maybe why do I care?
Why do you care, Donna?
Yeah, why do I care? I don't think that we're put on this planet to live our best life. I think that's a perk. I think we're put on this planet to help other people live their best life. And I take that really seriously, but I think I take it seriously because I came from nothing, and now I'm blessed with a lot. And I think that, and look, maybe it's partially because one of our businesses is a retail store. But as I thought about your guys that you serve, and you and I have connected very much on a friendship basis at our mastermind group. And as I thought about the guys that you serve, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is too easy to help them not be a slave to the business anymore. I was a slave to the business for a little over a year. And keep in mind, my whole mantra is healthy, selfish, right? I'm going to be with the people I love. I'm going to make the money I want to make. I'm going to have the freedom I want to have. And for a little over a year, I didn't have that. And as I got to thinking about your guys, and I was like, they might be living that like a lot. And look, I know some of your guys are doing millions. Well, then let's turn that into 3 or 4 million. But some of your guys aren't. Some of your guys are selling a mattress a day. And I don't want it to be like that. And I know that what I have uncovered for myself and now helped other businesses with, I know it'll help your guys too. I know it.
So, Donna, I guess a couple of things. Number one, thank you so much for coming on the show today. Thank you for your patience with the technical difficulties. By the way, just so that everybody knows, if you think that she's in her normal studio, think again. You can see the construction in the back. She's doing this off of her phone, and she's been holding it most of the time. So Donna, thank you for the extra effort, and I want to have you back again to talk to our people more. But how somebody that watches this or comes across this on the replay, they want to get in touch with you. What's the best way for them to get in touch with you, Donna?
It's going to be Life by Design, businessblueprint.com. Because that's going to take you straight to, yep, I want to talk to Donna. I'm going to do probably a 20 to 30 minute strategy call. I'm not charging for it. We're just going to decide if this, well, for your guys, if the 4-day better sleep challenge is applicable. And I don't have to decide it. I already know it is, right? But what I want to do is help them completely get their head around it so they can decide, when the best time is to plug it in. Now, I'm going to vote loudly first of the year, but it doesn't have to be first of the year. I don't know the cycles of the buying cycles of your customer. So I would say, do we want to make what's already good better, or do we want to take a cycle that isn't as good and make it great? That's, and I'll ask during the strategy session questions like, what do you want your life to look like? What are you there for? What are you not there for? What do you want your money to look like? How are you presently making money? I'm going to get to know that business well. And I'm going to echo what Chris said a minute ago when he asked his question. Look, this needs to be at every mattress conference in the country, because this is too easy. And we're just missing it. And sometimes it's because we're so caught up in our own stuff, our own world,
Yep,
that we can't see the forest for the trees.
Yep.
Right.
The way we used to do it, which isn't working anymore, by the way.
Yeah.
So Donna, thank you so much. Everybody go out there and have fun and sell a million. And everybody that asked questions, Chris, thank you for being here. And whoever got frustrated because you tried to ask a question and you didn't, Brad, Carol, love all the encouragement from both of you today. Mrs. Donna and Mr. Pete, thank you from Becky and Brad at Cumberland Furniture and Mattress Gallery in Somerset, Kentucky. Thank you, guys. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you. Thanks, Donna.
Thank you, Pete. Talk soon.